how we're approaching it. I think they've done a really good job of just doing that each and every day.
John, so much was made in the offseason. You let Cole, Jack Johnson go about your defensive depth, and now you've lost three guys. You've got three guys out of the lineup. It's obviously not just the defensemen that handled defensive duties necessarily, but how impressed have you been with that core's ability to keep Tampa Bay in check and keep you guys afloat?
Yeah, I think when it's a team defense, you're right there. It's not just the defenseman, but having said that, I think if you go to the three guys, I think you're talking about Clens, Kooks, and Harry. I think they've done a great job. I think Kooks has found his game late in the year and is playing with a ton of confidence. You could see him last night just as far as his puck skills. Harry's a guy that we all know just competes and plays and has been a big part of our team throughout the year here. Clens, who's been going back and forth, playing minor league games, coming back here. Was that his first? I did not realize that until someone said it last night. I thought he handled himself really well. He's not afraid. I don't think he's afraid to make a mistake. Made some good puck plays. Made a really good play on the point offensively, just holding on to the puck and got it to the net. We got a really good tip on it. I think both teams went through it a little bit last night. Both teams had some injuries and players come in. That's playoffs. We're going to have more injuries. If we continue to play, we'll have more injuries. But I think the guys have handled themselves well.
John, the numbers would suggest right around the time you guys came back from your Western trip that Matt Duchene, he had 5 assists in 3 games, that he started to produce a little bit. You guys started to win. Is that when you feel he got comfortable here and maybe you got comfortable with him and what he can do? And also, on top of that, is it harder for an offensive guy to change, to do what he's doing? Because he's got to not only work his way into a team, but he's got to score, too.
Yeah, I thought, Dutchie played well once we got him. I thought he played well. Wasn't getting the results. I think that West Coast trip after the Edmonton game, we had a couple of days really to try to have some conversations, not just Dutchie, but everybody. I think those 2 days really helped us. But with him, it was just, he was close. It's funny with offensive guys, you just can't look at their numbers. At least I can't. I have to watch their game. The biggest thing I've pushed upon him is, he's going to play against some top players. It's such a fine line of winning and losing in playoffs. We have to play away from the puck also. I think he's putting a tremendous amount of effort into what he's doing in our end zone and trying to play away from the puck. The offensive stuff, I don't think many players can score that goal last night on the backhand. As quickly as it comes to him, and he puts it in the back of the net so quickly on a backhand, that's a tremendous skill. So I think he's feeling. He's got a couple goals now in the playoffs. I didn't realize he had none when we started the playoffs. I think he feels good about it, and I think his whole game has consistently got better as each game's gone on.
John, last night you talked about Bob's performance in the third period. His numbers in the series have been great in comparison to his numbers in playoff performances of past years. I was wondering what you attributed these numbers to. Is it the law of averages? Is it what's going on in front of him? Is it something within him that's changed?
Yeah, I think the more and more playoff hockey you play, the more and more you feel comfortable in the situations that you put in. I do think the team, I think we've played pretty well in front of him along the way here and put in some good minutes away from the pucks, but he has, in times of games, when we need a huge save, he has made them. Third period, just going back to last night, he made some really good saves in the third period that kept us there. So it's a question you might ask him. I don't talk to the goalies that much, but I think for any player, the more and more you play in these things, and that's why I think it's so important now. It's 3 years in a row we've been in, and guys are getting more minutes and situations and surges like Tampa put on last night in the third period. hopefully you're ready for them. It's not new to you. So hopefully that's helping them.
John, how important has it been to stay out of the penalty box and be able to roll your lines all night long without having to kill penalties?
Yeah, we'll even yeah. If you're going to have a chance to play against this team and compete and try to find your way, you can't be in the box. I think we've done a pretty good job of that. We've moved our legs. We're trying to stay away from the stick fouls, trying to stay away from the offensive zone fouls. Although Doobie, like we talked about the last game, I forget which game, Doobie takes 4 minutes, and we end up changing the game in that situation. It's part of playoff hockey is the discipline. It's part of not retaliating and staying out of the box, and it certainly helps the energy of your team because you can stay in the flow with our guys. And right now, I think we have lines for the last little while before even playoffs started that we feel comfortable with that we can play.
Getting back to what you were talking about with Duchene in the defensive zone, that line in particular, what kind of a job have they done in these first 3 games for you?
Yeah, they've worked at it. It's not without mistakes. You know, I think when you're playing against really good players, no matter what team you're playing against, there's going to be misreads and stuff like that going on there. But I think what has helped us when we've had breakdowns, it's the next guy saves the day, trying to cover up for mistakes. So I still think we have to continue to work with Dutchie's line as far as low coverage, as far as guys determining who's low, because it's always a different guy as you enter into the zone, into your end zone. It may be the wing, it may be Cam. I still think there's some things we have to work out there, but the effort, the concentration, and trying to work in that end zone has been really good.
John, you mentioned their surge in the third period. Talking to them after the game, I think they feel like they built a little momentum there. Do you feel like they built some momentum, or do you feel like you maybe got away from some of the things that allowed you to be successful up until
Well, I can't speak for their team as far as how they feel and what happened there. As I said, we're fortunate to get a win last night in Game 3. We're going to get ready to play Game 4.
Do you feel like there's some things that you got away from there in that part of the game?
As a coach, Dave, there's always things coaches are always looking to improve at. And Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, there's all situations coming into Game 4 that we're looking to improve.
John, to play off of that a little bit, if you guys go out last night and you win 2-0, 3-0, they can't score again, you're up 3-0, there could be a mindset with players that set in like, we've got these guys, but they have that third period. Is that almost a blessing in disguise for you? Like today you have something to focus on. You can look at things. Do you buy into that at all? Like these guys have to know they can't play this way at all, and they have example.
No, I don't. I think we're just thinking about concentrating on our game plan that we have shown video and just concentrating on how we have to play. It's Game 4. We're just going to concentrate on how we have to play. No matter what the momentum, this, or what people are saying about that, we're just going to concentrate on play Game 4.
You're often focused, especially with young players, on play away from the puck. You've had Texier for a little while now. How has that part of his game come along?
He's very aware, very smart player, very strong on the puck, has done the job on the wall. Yeah, I don't. You can see the situations I put him in. I have confidence in that he understands how to play away from the puck. He's been in situations where, as a winger going down low as the low forward, you can see him being aware of where his guy is. He's been coached very well prior to him coming here, so we have full confidence in him.
John, just quickly, we saw Nudavara take warm-ups, but obviously couldn't go. Is there any update you can share with us?
No. Clay too, because I kind of gassed Clay yesterday, the other day. Yes.
No, I just re-added myself to the list.
You just re-added?
Please.
Okay.
I think somebody's in front of me.
Okay.
All right. Have you talked to Jarmo about the Gavrikov kid who's going to be coming over here? And what do you know about him? Anything?
Yeah, I don't know much. you know, Yarmo has talked to me about him. As I said, I think Yarmo's one of the best talent evaluators I've been involved with. So he's given me a lot of information on him. I'm not going to go about it here right now, but I'm not sure where that whole process stands right now as far as getting him over here. But he certainly comes with some high credentials.
John, I'm wondering, what does Cleveland make in the playoffs again do for the organization? Because you've talked a lot about the Calder Cup team, those guys, and how much that helped them. What does that mean to be in the playoffs again?
Any league you play in the playoffs, and now you're talking about the kids of a National Hockey League team, it's good. They've worked hard to get in there. We've taken a lot of their guys. I've been on that other end, as Mads is, when the NHL team's trying to get in and taking players, and injuries from our team, we take up players. They've done a tremendous job to get in, and the more playoff games that kids can play in that situation, that's a quicker process as far as getting to the National Hockey League. So last night was a good night for the organization. We end up winning a playoff game. They end up getting in, and hopefully our kids will keep on developing.
John, you've got several extra forwards here. Why the Dalpe recall? Was that just a reward for him for the season he's had in the minors?
Yeah, we want to take a look at him. They don't play until Friday, I think. Again, we got some nicks here and there, so we brought him up to practice. I'm not sure where it all goes. Don't screw it up, Clay.
At the risk that you may not answer this, but we talked with some fans today, some who have been here since the first brick went in, and just talking about the atmosphere. Mike, I know you're not going to get caught up in the glory days because you have a game to play, but are you hearing this? I mean,
the building?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I know you talked a little bit about it last night, but
yeah, sure.
I mean, you went double fist pump, last night.
I was happy we won. We won the game. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's great for the fans. I think and I've been very honest about that. We're hoping to keep on progressing here to make this into a full-fledged hockey town. And I'm not going to go back in the past of the organization, but for us to gain respect in the league, we have to keep on getting in this tournament, the playoffs, and try to find a way to be successful. And that's when things start building that way. I think our fans have been tremendous, since I've been here, tremendously loyal in where we have sucked some games in certain situations that they wanted to get behind us, and we have laid an egg a number of times. Playoffs. So, yeah, I don't want to be an idiot here and say I don't care about that. Certainly I'm focused on the hockey team and what's going on the ice, but we want this to grow. And the more opportunities we get to play those type of games and find our way to win, that's a good thing. That's just not talking about the series. It's just a good thing for our organization. Who created that? Yeah. Well, I think the organization, I think we're trying to find our way. And when you, now, like I said, 3 years in a row, that may not mean a lot to a lot of other organizations that have been there forever, but this is a kind of a starting point for us to try to build this the right way. And so no one particular person has created it. I think you look at some of the kids, the scouts, and it go right down through the organization. That's what we're trying to do together. But we're not there. We got a ways to go. You have to be successful in these type of situations, and we've won a couple of games here, but you can't say it's true success. We got to keep on keeping our concentration and keep on trying to find our way by doing it the right way through the right process.